In December, when it starts snowing, Cat Notka likes to go to the storeroom. It's a good place to think of the family stories which Mom tells. Cat Notka likes to remember all the particulars. Christmas Adventures of the Elder Brother is the most exciting story. When he, Mirka, was about 6 years old, he decided to find out where Father Frost lives. He got into the van in which Father Frost had arrived and hid behind a huge gift sack on the back seat. Mom and Dad didn't notice it, of course. They couldn't notice it. The New Year was the holiday which they used for ski mountaineering. And that year, they went ski mountaineering to France or Switzerland. Mirka, the elder brother, didn't know for sure where they went, for neither France nor Switzerland interested him too much. He was interested only in Russia. First of all, because that country is kind of mysterious, with lots of folk fairy tales. Secondly, he was certain that Father Frost lived in Russia, though some persons insisted it was Canada or Alaska. Anyway, Miros considered these winter places are the luckiest ones. He liked the tradition of decorating a real Christmas tree. At the end of December, the family usually left for their countryside house. Actually, it was the granny's countryside house, with a real fir tree which grew in the yard. And they had lots of guests, which celebrated together with them not only Christmas, but New Year too. It was fun because there were many gifts for everybody, including the cat. Very exciting time, even for the cat. Everybody sang to the guitar or accordion, and it was very enchanting. But the most admirable thing was meeting Father Frost personally. 100% real one. And then to lit candles on Christmas and listen together to the fairy tales and stories about life of people in the previous century or dream about magic. And the next day to put on fancy dress, walk about the countryside area, visit neighbors, play snowballs, and warm oneself by the fireplace. The reason Miros wanted to discover Father Frost's dwelling place was his great wish, burning desire, so to say, to study magic under the guidance of Father Frost. Father Frost always came in a taxi. Sometimes he drove the car himself. Cat Notka remembered that day he arrived in a van. But the adults said he used to get to their house even on a sledge. The elder brother Miros and the cat considered a sledge to be more magic transport than a taxi. Cat Notka and the elder brother liked to go in a taxi. They liked taxiing. And besides, the taxi drivers are always different. Some are strict and not talkative. Some are wise and serious. Some are joyful and cheerful, like kindergarten teachers. It's nice to talk to taxi drivers. They're so well read and experienced. Cat Notka and the elder brother always talk with taxi drivers, while they talk with Father Frost only once a year. But then they make a snow woman in the yard, in the country, together with Father Frost, or play board games on New Year's Day. Cat Notka likes playing board games too. She enjoys all the tricks of Father Frost. That day, when Father Frost got out of the van, he just stamped his foot and winked. At once, the van door opened all by itself. A sack with presents jumped out all by itself too, and followed Father Frost. Actually, Everything happened like it does when Father Frost arrives, except for one detail. Halfway to the house, the sack got stubborn. Father Frost had to carry it on his shoulder. It didn't want to go on its own, just wouldn't walk. Probably because Mirrors and the cat hadn't removed snow from the snow-covered paths. Only the porch of the snow-bound rural cottage was cleaned, because grandfather is very hard-working and sweeps it 3 times a day. Grandfather Arsen's really hard-working. He goes to the forest and carries wood from there for the fireplace. By the way, when the gift sack got stubborn, Father Frost went back to the sack at the gates. He had to put off his gloves, that is, mittens, and then he accidentally let 2 titmice out of the mittens. While he was carrying the sack of New Year's gifts, a few birds left his trap ahead. Father Frost came up to the porch and shook off snow, the whole pile of snow, and immediately he turned it into an icy hill, so it was possible to ride on it, and even Cat Notka used the opportunity and slid down together with the elder brother. Evidently, Father Frost had a few tricks left. He produced oranges from air and began juggling them skillfully. At once, everyone standing nearby had oranges in their pockets, and Katnotka had it just near her white paws. Meanwhile, Father Frost broke off a huge icicle hanging from the roof and wrote in the air, "Merry Christmas." Probably he liked Christmas more than New Year. Meanwhile, Father Frost showed a few more incredible tricks. Katnotka didn't quite catch it, because all these exciting things happened so fast. But she was amazed, and still is when she thinks about it. By the way, Father Frost can be very mischievous sometimes, even more mischievous than Cat Notka. He usually starts a snowball fight, and no one manages to hit him with a snowball. When everybody was making snowballs in the yard that day, Father Frost disappeared from the yard and hid in the house. He even didn't take the sack, and that one had to go on its own. It just whisked itself into the doorway. When the others ran into the house, Father Frost stamped his feet and said some magic word, and at once Grandma turned out to wear Snow Queen dress. Cat Notka didn't quite hear and remember the magic words, and the elder brother Mirrors didn't manage to hear them either. So they both couldn't say it to be able to create such magic. Besides, they both didn't know for sure if it was the word which produced magic or it was necessary to stamp one's feet first. Cat Notka and the elder brother had lots of questions to ask Father Frost, but they couldn't ask the questions while everyone was having fun and while the main magician, Father Frost, was singing and dancing. Actually, he had no time for serious conversations. But Cat Notka was very pleased. She had wonderful toys, and Miras had an accordion as a present. They both thanked grandfather and went to the storeroom. Only it was the countryside storeroom. But they pretended they went to another room, to the bedroom.